All right, so I've had a lot of requests from you guys wanting to know just like what a typical day is like on the inside in there. Speaking about California prisons, like how does breakfast and dinner work? How do you make phone calls? Just what's the daily get down? And so it's a lot of ground to cover, so I'll you know, try to just go over the real general basics, and then I think I'll do a live one maybe later today uh, with like an open forum, and you guys can hit me up and ask questions, and I will answer them. But typically, so like at a mainline institution, so not reception, like at an actual prison where you do your time at, you're going to have a job assignment almost certainly. The only way you can get out of not working is like if you have some sort of medical, some sort of medical hold that precludes you from any type of work. But that's hard to get. Like you're gonna have a job. So basically, if you touch down somewhere, the best thing to do is try to find a job and get it. Because if not, they're just gonna randomly assign you to something, and you're probably not gonna like it. And once you are assigned to something, it's so hard to get out of it. It's really difficult. Uh, without getting in trouble. Like if you straight up refuse to work, you get labeled a program failure. You go to the hole, and they just whack you. You lose all your good time. So like that good time you get is kind of like a conditional, meaning you're not going to get any write ups, and that you're going to work. So when you touch down somewhere, find out what jobs are available and what you think you might like doing, and try to do it. And you do that kind of like you would do on the streets. You find whoever the manager is, whether it's a free staff civilian, a teacher, a medical someone, or even an officer, depending on the job, and just hit them up like, hey, I'm a good worker. I want to work here. Da da da. Maybe have one of your homeboys put in a good word for you, because you don't want to just get assigned to something you're not going to like the kitchen, washing dishes or something. But every job does have its perks. So basically, you're gonna have a job, and so when you wake up in the morning, and this is speaking of like for the white demographic in the California prison system, you want to be awake and up and ready with your shoes on, well before they pop the doors for chow in the morning. What time is that? It varies from prison to prison, but it's going to be like probably between 6 and 7 roughly, right? There might be a work line release earlier than that for like workers who have to be somewhere early. And so if you are eligible for that, that's when you'll go out. But you want to be up and ready. The first thing you're going to do is when you wake up, is you're going to roll your mattress up. Okay? That might sound silly to you guys, like, but you'll roll it up. Um, so it's like a Tootsie Roll, and then push it to the back of the bed. And it's just kind of a program thing. I don't know why we do it. And other races do it too. It's not just a white thing, but it's the way I was told. It's just kind of to it makes your bed area look neat, and it kind of keeps you from looking at your bed and wanting to lay down in it in hard time and stress. It just kind of curbs all that, and just it's just a program thing. So like if you're a guy that doesn't do that, you'd be kind of looked like they'd be like, "What? Why don't you roll your mattress up? What's wrong with you? Roll that shit up." But anyways, so you're up and ready. They'll pop the doors for chow. You're gonna walk out of your building. Each building gets released like in order. They'll start one building, then two building, then three building, and reverse it the next day, whatever. But you'll go out and eat with your building. And yeah, you have to go out and walk, counterclockwise around the yard all the way to the chow hall with a bunch of idiots, right? And then you got the guy behind you stand. They have to stand in line for like 10 minutes. And then you got the guy behind you yawning and didn't brush his fucking teeth, so you can smell his breath. uh, and then this idiot keeps bumping into you over here, and you always got the guy that fucking like walks the hell close to you behind you when you're like standing in line. Like, bro, you want to go in front of me? Like, what? Fucking close to me. You gotta deal with all that, and then depending on like what level prison you're at, you pretty much have to like fill in the chow hall the way you come in. You sit down like as you fall into place. You don't get to pick and choose. So like it might be like seven white boys, and then behind them is like 10 black dudes. So like if you're the last white guy in line, you might be ending up at the table with those black dudes. Not that that's a problem, but it's kind of it happens, and it's just a little awkward because like you're sitting at a table with three black dudes, and then it's just you. But or vice versa. So you will go to breakfast. You get your sack lunch at that same time. So if you miss breakfast, you miss lunch too. So you have to go to breakfast. Get your little bullshit sack lunch with basically nothing in it. It's gonna be like a little bologna sandwich and two slices of bread, and that's pretty much it. Maybe like a little tiny baggie of trail mix, like a little handful worth. I mean, like the portions are like smaller than what you would give a child. It's extremely small portions. I've talked about that in other videos. But you walk back, and then they'll once breakfast is done for the whole yard, they will run program, right? And program, they'll say program time or yard or whatever. Basically, that's when all the programs start. Yard, day room, showers, phone calls, all that, canteen, all that shit. So depending on the joint, like they'll do yard and then day room for the guys that don't have yard. So like they might do like upper tier yard in the morning and then lower tier yard in the afternoon, and then and vice versa will be day room. So if it's upper tier yard, you live on upper tier. When they call for yard, you gotta go. Depending on where you're at, it's more than likely going to be mandatory yard, but it's kind of a good idea just to do that anyway, even if it's not mandatory, because you're kind of expected to be out there. At least go make an appearance. If you need to go back to the cell and chill, maybe go back at the first unlock. There'll be an unlock at maybe after an hour or two. You can get back in the building. But you go to yard and you're going to be working out. It's mandatory. You don't have to work out with other guys. You can do it by yourself or whatever, but you want to work out. If you're under 50, you're working out for sure. And so you do that, and then unless you're at work, you'll go to work and you work out later. So if you're not at work, you'll go to yard, and then when yard closes about 11:30, it's locked down for a little while. They'll run like medication, noon meds, and then they'll do the afternoon program, and then now it's day room. And the lower tier goes to yard, and upper tier goes to day room, and that's when you'll go take your shower. You'll go make your phone calls at the little payphones, walk around with your buddies, sit down at the table with your buddies, play cards or whatever, lie to each other about all the girls you've slept with, and other little war stories, and that's kind of how that goes. And then when that's done, about 3:30, everyone locks down again. Then there's the institutional count at 4 o'clock or 4:30. Every prison in the state does it at the same time, and it's called stand and count. It's the one count time where like when they come by to count you, you have to like stand up or at least sit up so they can like see that you're ambulatory and not dead, and account for everybody. And you have to wait for the entire prison, not just the yard, but the whole prison to clear that count. That means everyone in the whole, every single inmate's been accounted for. Then they'll do chow, and so that takes about an hour and a half. Sometimes it takes a couple hours and you're on lockdown because they can't find somebody. Then they'll find them, and then program will start. So then same thing for dinner. They'll pop the doors. You go out with your building, walk down the fucking chow hall, sit with some idiot who chews with his fucking mouth open, and then you always got the tray hawks that hey boy, homeboy, you gonna eat those? You gonna eat that? You gonna eat that? Like they're already eyeballing your tray before you even fucking finish it, looking at what you're gonna eat, what you're not gonna eat because because they're starving. But you know what I say? I say, oh, hey, you know what I don't like on my tray? And they're like, what? Well, what is it? I'm like, your eyes. Oh, I get it, guys are hungry, but it gets annoying, man. Like sometimes like you'll give like if you got one of those guys that usually sits with you and he knows you don't eat certain things like green beans, like he'll be on you. Oh, it's green beans tonight. Can I get yours? I'm like, humble, it's fucking 3 hours till dinner. What are you talking about? You check the menu. You checked the menu and fucking saw that there was something there that that I don't eat. So now you're like setting it up. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here with that. So yeah, so then after like dinner is done, then there'll be some sort of night program, like night yard. Night yard will be like for workers. You have to show your work card to get out, and it'll be for a couple hours from like maybe 7 p.m. to 8:30 or 6 to 8:30. It's not very long. And then there'll also be day room at night, and you come out of your cell again, and then lock back down, and then after the final lockdown, they'll do another count, and then after that count clears, it's program's over. It's quiet as fuck. And you better be quiet too. I mean, you could talk to your cellie or whatever, but no one's blaring music, no one's pounding on the doors, hooting and hollering to their fucking, none of that shit. You can hear a pin drop. So, that's kind of it in a nutshell. I hope that answers your questions. It's just like every little aspect I've covered like requires like a lot of detail, and I can't cover that in 10 minutes without either losing your interest or getting fucking taking too much time. So I'll probably do a live one in a little bit, and then we can have an open forum, and then you guys can ask me questions. It'll be like a Q&A, you know what I'm saying? Do a little Q&A. Go big or go home.